Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Anthony's, and you are here on Anthony's.com. Welcome back to all my A-listers. Hey girl, hey. And if you are new, hello, how are you? All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button and you can be a part of the A-list too. Y'all, it has been 6 whole months since I packed up all my things and moved away from all my family and friends. Baby, today we're gonna go over the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups and the downs, and all the things that have happened in these last 6 months. So y'all know what to do. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Talk about that. We could talk about this. Talk about that. We could talk about this. Talk about that. Anthony's Unfiltered.
Okay, so first of all, I got my phone here because I did notes. I didn't want to forget anything that I wanted to discuss. So just let me get to the notes. Guess I should have had that done first. Okay. So, like I said, I am your girl Anthony's. Of course, y'all already know that if you're not new here. But if you are new here, I am Anthony's. I am originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm 42 years old. I have lived in Jacksonville, Florida for 42 years. I recently relocated New Year's Eve, New Year's, so 6 months ago. It's July 20th now, so we almost on month number 7, but I wanted to do this video just to give an update. I know a lot of people, when I posted about me moving and when I talked about moving, a lot of people were interested in like how I did it, what did I do, different things like that. So I just wanted to give like a recap on how it's been for me for the last 6 months. So why did I move? A question I get asked a lot. You have to go back and watch the videos from like January and stuff, but long story short, some things just was going on in Jacksonville. My kid's dad was murdered November the 30th. I moved on December the 30th. I just no longer felt safe there after being there my whole life. I just didn't feel comfortable there just to be living there every day, day in, day out. So it was time for me to go. And when people ask me why I moved, that is that is why. Well, that's one reason why. Okay, previous to that, and I'm trying to make sure I stay on track. Yeah, previous to that, okay, so I moved, like I said, December the 30th, 2023. So in October of 2022, I said, I'm gonna move out of town. I was like, I'm gonna renew my lease. I lived in an apartment, a luxury apartment in Jacksonville. And I was like, I'm gonna renew. My lease is always up at the end of the year, so 2 months ahead of time. So it was like October. They started sending me the thing about renewing my lease. So I'm like, I'm gonna renew this lease one more time, and after this, I'm moving out of town. And I was fussing about it, I remember, because they was going up on my rent again. Like when I moved out, I ended up paying almost like $2,900 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. So they was going up on the rent again, like $150 at that point. And I was like, this last time I'm resigning this lease. I lived in that apartment since 2020, so about 3 years before I moved. And I said, I'm gonna pipe myself up and I'm move. But my plan was, I owned a spa in Jacksonville. I'm a licensed esthetician in the state of Florida. So I owned a spa in Jacksonville, and my plan was always to move away but come home one weekend out of the month to see my clients. I would pile all my clients up on Friday and Saturday. I would fly into town on Thursday night, see my clients all day Friday, all day Saturday, Sunday if I needed to, Sunday night or Monday morning, fly back home. That was always the plan. It was just a couple things going on in my life that, for when I was in a really bad, it was not a really bad relationship. I was in a relationship that was not growing. And I don't want to say it was a really bad relationship because it wasn't. Me and this guy had been off and on. That's my dog. We had been off and on for years. 8, almost 9 years. Love him. He loves me. We just weren't growing. And I feel like we just had got to the point where we had grew apart. Like, no hard feelings, da da da. However, we were crutches for each other. So he works out of the country. When he comes home, I know he's here. He is my companion. We do things together. We travel together. Hey, when he come home, I know we going on a trip. I know I'm gonna be going out to eat every day. He gonna be bringing me lunch to work, da 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 da. So as much as I said I wanted to get away from him, and I wanted to get away from him because I felt like that relationship was not growing. It was not giving me, it no longer gave me what I needed. When it started off, it was feeding me so much and we were putting so much into each other, and then it just became like a very toxic, tit-for-tat-ish ass kind of relationship. And I just felt like I was no longer getting what I needed from that relationship. So I'm not going to say it was a bad relationship, but I felt like I needed to move in order to really get away from that relationship. And it wasn't all on him, like I'm saying. it was me too. When I knew he was coming home, I knew he would be home. I knew I was gonna be able to go on a trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew we was going somewhere out the country. I knew we was gonna do all these things together. So as much as he was bothering with me, I was bothering with him. So one of the reasons why I wanted to move is because I no longer wanted to be in that situation, and I really just didn't know how to get out of it, if I'm being honest. So that was one thing, and I just wanted to, I felt like I had been in Jacksonville my whole entire life, and I just wanted to try something new. So I said in my head, I was like, I'm gonna treat it as my college years. I'm gonna move away for 4 years. If I don't like it, I can always come back home. If I like it, I can stay, or I can try somewhere else. And I'm gonna tell y'all about that before we end. So yeah, I said, you know, after I renew this lease, so I won't be renewing my lease no more. So that was in the end of 2022. So I said at the end of 2023, I would be moving. So I remember in like June of 2023, one of my friends asked, you still moving at the end of the year? And I was like, no, I ain't gonna be able to move because my money looking funny. You know what I'm saying? My money ain't looking right, I ain't gonna be able to do that. Again, I planned on not working or anything, just keeping my spot open, coming back, doing my clients, making all my money in a weekend, paying my bills, living life, okay? June comes along, July, somewhere in the summer, I'm like, no, my money looking funny. After my kid's dad was killed, it was just like I knew it was time for me to go. And I have 2 older brothers, but one of my older brothers, my brother who is right over me, we're actually 3 years apart, but my middle brother, because I'm the baby, me and him are like this, like thick as thieves, okay? That's my boy. And he said to me one day, he was like, I gotta get you out of here. And to hear him say that to me, I'm not crying on this video because this ain't nothing to cry about, y'all. So let's get it together. Stand up. Not for real. Stand up. Weekend of these, no, but for real. To hear him say that to me, like, we come from the streets. I say this all the time. My entire family, my mom, my dad's side, like, we from the streets. If you're from Jacksonville, Florida, I'm from Mixon, West Side. Like, I call myself the millionaire from Mixon. If you're not from Jacksonville, Florida, Mixon is like a hood in Jacksonville. And we from the streets. Like, my whole family's from the streets. I know street shit. You know, I've been around street stuff my whole life. And for my brother, who used to be in the streets and now he drives trucks for a living, he's turned his life around. He did some time in prison. He's turned his life around. But for him to say to me, I gotta get you out of here, that really, like, it was like, oh yeah, I got to go, you know? So, and I think it was a thing of like, it was time for me to go. But had that tragic event not happened, I would have never moved. Like, now that I'm thinking back on it, I would have kept coming up with excuses. For one thing, my spa, I had made $1 million in that spa. Like, I was making good money. So I was afraid to walk away from that. And what I have realized since I moved, a lot of my identity was tied to being the owner of Glam Beauty Bar and Spa. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to walk away from that. Like, it made me feel like I was somebody. And not that I didn't feel like I was somebody previous to that, but now I was really like, I said I was gonna get a business. I had a brick and mortar. I got employees. I'm that girl, you know? That's what it was. I didn't realize that while I was in that, but now that I have moved away, I can realize these things. But anyway, so my kid's dad died on November the 30th. Maybe like 2 days later, I started looking for places, and I narrowed it down. I knew the area that I want to move in. And if you ever watch any of my videos, like previous to me moving, I used to do like Sunday brunch videos and things like that I don't do anymore because I don't reveal where, I'm not hiding where I'm at. Like, I'm not like a witness protection or nothing, but I just will feel more comfortable. Like, if somebody know, they know, but it's nothing that I'm just broadcasting out where I live. I do live in the Carolinas. And my plan was to move to Charlotte, and I should have moved to Charlotte, but I ended up changing my mind because I didn't want to be in the middle of the city. That was one thing, but I'm not far from Charlotte. I'm not even in North Carolina, but I'm not far from Charlotte, so you'll see me go to Charlotte a lot. And now that I have been visiting Charlotte, I think when I move again, I'm gonna move to Charlotte because yeah, I like it. Yeah, like I like it. But anyway, it was just time for me to go. But had that tragic incident not happened, I would have never left. Like, I would have never built up the courage. I would have kept coming up with excuses on why I can't go, what I can't do, da da da. Y'all, I got on a ring and it is tight on my finger. I feel my blood like not circulating in my finger while I'm sitting here talking to y'all. And that's crazy work now. Oh yeah, we're about to get that off. I'm gonna just leave it alone for that. But anyway, it was just time. It was time for me to go. And again, so I'm still treating this like my college years. I got 4 years. I have to stay for 4 years. And the reason why I'm telling y'all that is because, going back to my notes, since I have moved, a lot of things have happened that have made me want to go back home. But I have to keep telling myself, like, no, you said you was gonna give it 4 years, give it 4 years. And I don't know if I'm gonna give it 4 years here, but 4 years away from home. So I might stay here. I'm not moving this year. That's because that would be in 5 months. I'm not doing that. So I will at least stay here for 2 years and then maybe try Charlotte for 2 years and then like that, or try another place for 2 years before I go back home. But honestly, I don't know if I want to go. When I'm home, I want to be back home. But when I'm not home, I don't care about being back home, if that makes sense. But let me get back on my list. Y'all hear the baby? That's one of the things that have happened since I moved. I got a baby in the room. She's asleep though. Has it been an easy transition? Yes and no. Once I found the place, my mom, my dad, my brother, my son, we packed my stuff up. We drove us a U-Haul. They got me here, moved in, no problem. No, I miss my family, my whole entire family and friends live in Jacksonville. Everybody I love live in Jacksonville, okay? So I left behind everybody and everything that I knew to be here by myself, technically, because my sons are here. One of my sons, y'all know I talk about it all the time, one of my sons is in jail. He don't get out till next year. And then my other son, he works, he's a emergency man, I don't know, emergency man. Basically, he does like, he works with the Coast Guard out on ships, so he goes to work for 4 to 6 months at a time, and then he comes back. So he did move here with me, but he was only here with me almost a month before it was time for him to go back to work, and he's been gone ever since. So essentially, I have been here by myself. Since I've been here, I have been back to Jacksonville 3 times, okay? 3 unplanned times at that. So, well, one of them was kind of planned, but we'll talk about it in a second. But anyway, when I'm in Jacksonville, I miss it, and I'm always figuring out, I'm always thinking like, oh my God, I gotta figure out how to move back home. But I know what I promised myself, and I have to do what I promised myself, and that is stay away for 4 years. And honestly, these first 6 months have went by really fast. Like it's really has really gone by really fast. So the transitions that I have made since I moved, basically I closed down my business, of course. So I came here with no job, no nothing. I really kind of spent every time I had moving. Like, if we've been honest, I spent a lot of money to move. It ain't easy. It ain't easy to, yeah. I spent a lot of money to move. Because I did not put in my notice to move out of my apartment, I had to pay for that. I had to pay to move out of my building that I was in. I had to pay to move here. I had to pay deposits and all this for lights, and I spent a lot of money. So if you're planning to move out of town, make sure you save a lot of money. Make sure you save a lot of money. And plus, I moved here and I didn't have no job. Like, I don't have a job. Like, so I didn't know what I was gonna do. But what I do believe is when God guides, He provides. Okay, that is like my biggest thing. With the Lord guides, He provides. So I ain't had to worry about nothing since I've been here. I did start a mentorship business since I've been here, where I mentor other estheticians, and this is something that I was doing when I was back in Jacksonville, but I was only doing it in spurts here and there because I had my business. I was always busy. I couldn't really figure out how to balance it all out, but now it's like I gotta do this because this is something I need to do. So I've been putting more focus into that, so that has been going well for me, and I like it because I can do it from anywhere, so I'm not tied down anywhere. So even when I go back home to visit Jacksonville, I got my laptop on my phone, I still can talk to my clients, I still can do what I need to do, and everything is fine. So as far as transitioning, one of the hardest things for me has been missing my family and my friends, feeling like I'm missing out on special events and special occasions and things like that. But the culture here and things that are here are not that much different from Jacksonville, so that hasn't been hard. Like, I visit a lot of places, and a lot of places I go, it's like, oh no, I could never live here. Like, this is not that much different from me living in Jacksonville, so I feel like I'm fine. Let's see what's next. Transition, I did. How did I choose where I was moving? How did I choose where I was moving? Well, I wanted to move somewhere where it wouldn't be too cold, but I wanted to be able to experience all the seasons. In Florida, we got summer, 2 weeks of winter, summer again. You don't have spring, you don't have fall, you don't have any of that. You don't get to see the leaves change colors and stuff. It's like leaves on the trees and the leaves on the ground, and then that's it. It's like no in between. And then it's freezing cold for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's piping hot again. And I really wanted to go somewhere where I could experience the seasons and just different things like that. And I didn't want it to be like a culture shock. I didn't want it to be too much different from Florida. I didn't want the food to be too different. I didn't want to be, because like I said, like California and stuff like that, I don't know if I could ever live in those places where they like so green and healthy, because the food to me is nasty. Okay, and I've only been to LA. I've been to LA like 2 times, 3 times or something, and I don't like LA food. I ain't gonna say the whole California, but I don't like the food in LA. I could never move anywhere like New York. The hustle and bustle is too busy. I don't want to do that. But here it's very comfortable. So you know, how have I been since I moved? It's had its ups and downs. Like, if you watch some of my earlier videos, when I first moved, like I was having breakdowns. Like every day I would be crying. I just wanted to go home. I miss my family, I miss my friends, and finding service providers was a big thing for me. Like, I'm big on getting my hair done, my nails done, my lashes and all of that, and I could not find people that I felt was up to my standards. But I have now found me a hair girl. I did go back to Jacksonville to get my hair braided, just because, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But like regular hairdos, I did find me a hair girl. I found me a nail girl that I like after going through some trials and tribulations with some nail girls, and I also found me a lash and a wax girl that I like. So everything is kind of like falling into place now, so it makes me miss home less. Okay, so I'm good when it comes to that. I have on here what you do for a living, but I told y'all that now that I'm here, I'm doing my aesthetics training. So Spa RX on Spa and then RX, like a prescription, on Instagram is where I do mentorship. I do one-on-one mentorship, and I do group mentorship type situation where people pay me monthly, like for me to mentor them. So I've been doing that, and I really want to turn that into something. And I've also been getting paid money a little here and there from content creation. I'm now monetized on YouTube. So honestly, I'm not really into now that I'm doing it more like content creation, like short form content on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. I've never been a TikToker. Like, I can't figure out TikTok to save my life. But like Instagram and stuff like that, I'm not really into that no more. I like to keep that as like my fun place. I really want to be like a professional YouTuber. Like, if I can make my money and like really live off being a professional YouTuber, doggone it, that's what I want to do. And I also do have a passion for the whole esthetician training thing. Like, I love like connecting with other estheticians, knowing that I can help them, knowing I can help their business grow. So that is always probably going to be something that I do as well, because I actually like it. Again, I am licensed in Florida. I'm not licensed here. I did not get my license here. When I moved here, I didn't know if I was going to get my license here or not. But a lot of people don't recognize Florida as like, what do they call it, where you can I can't think of the word, but you can like transfer your license to another state. You can't do that with a Florida aesthetics license in most places, because Florida does not take a state board, and because the licensure, the amount of hours you need to get the license is such a small amount, a lot of people won't accept it. So this state won't accept it, and I would have to take a state board. So I would either have to go back to school and then take the state board and pass it, or just take the state board and pass it. I don't know if I could pass the state board, if I'm being honest, because I've been a esthetician for 10 years, and a lot of the stuff that's on the state board and that you learn in school, I ain't did it since I've been out. It's just not the same. So I would really have to like sit down and study to do that, and I don't know that it's worth it, because I can't take clients here. I won't be taking clients here. I do miss like touching with clients, but I love the freedom that I have now, that I'm not locked down and I have to be at the shop to make money kind of thing. I don't like that no more, because I've been doing a lot of traveling now since I've been here. I've been to probably about 5 different states in these 6 months. The stuff that I wouldn't have been able to do if I would have still had my shop, because I'd have been tied down and seeing clients. So I probably won't get my license, and then I can't advertise. If I'm saying to y'all, well, I don't want to advertise where I moved to, how can I advertise my new business and get clients and things like that? Because I'm gonna have to put it on social media. So that's just not in the cards for me right now. Not to say I won't ever get my license again, but right now that's just not in the cards for me. It just don't make sense, to be honest. And I'm still licensed in Florida, and if I want to like travel around to different states and do stuff, I can. I just wouldn't have a permanent place somewhere actually providing services. And like I said, I've been home 3 times since I moved. The first time I went back, my friend's son was murdered. So I went there to be there with her, of course, for his funeral services and everything. And then the second time I went back, it was actually his birthday, and she was having something because it was his first birthday since he had passed. She was having something for him, but I also was there the second time for the birth of my granddaughter. I had my first grandbaby since I moved. Y'all know, if you follow me, you know I love this baby. Like, I am in love. She's in the room right now, asleep. I am in love, y'all. I am in love. And a part of it is because I got 2 sons and like this is my first girl. And then another part of it is just like she's just such a sweet, innocent baby. And it's just like I love her, and I love that her mom is letting me be so involved in her life. And I was there when she was born. If you go back and watch the vlog, I have the vlog on here when she was born. I have been involved at this point in every part of her life since the month that she's been born, because she's a month old. So, but I love her so much, y'all, and I'm just so happy that God sent her to me. And she looks so much like my kid's dad, so it's crazy. It's like she could have been one of his kids, and she looked just like him as soon as she came out. And it's like I feel like he like sent us this baby because she in the midst of a storm, she has been such a joy to have. Like, she has been such a joy. Like, I love this baby, y'all. I love this baby. And it's so crazy because I'm like, well, was I a bad mama? Because I don't remember loving my own children like this. But it's been a long time, y'all. They old. My youngest son will actually be 21 tomorrow. So I have a 21 and 23-year-old. It's been a long time. But like, for this to be a little girl, and I just love her, y'all. I love her. I love her so much. So that's one thing that has happened to me since I moved. So I came home the second time for that, and the third time I just was home last weekend because one of my good friends purchased a home, and I just believe in showing up for your friends. So when she told me that she bought a home, she actually bought the home when I was there the second time. And she had a housewarming party this weekend. She did not invite me. She sent me an invitation, but it was a very dry invite. Like, she sent it out to me when she sent it to everybody else, but she never mentioned it to me. And just because she didn't think that I would turn around 2 weeks later and come right back. Like, this is like a 6-7 hour drive. She didn't think I would turn around and come right back. But for her, I step. She gonna always step for me, and I'm always step for her. You know what I'm saying? And when you have those kind of friends, that's what you do. So, but I'm like that about all my friends. If you know me, I'm gonna show up for my friends. If it's in any way, shape, form, or fashion I can show up for my friends, I'm gonna do it. Okay? That's just who I am. I believe in showing up for your friends. So I've been back home 3 times. I don't know when I'm coming back again, because I'm gonna meet my granddaughter's mother. I'm gonna meet her halfway to get her back, and then I don't have plans to come back no time soon. And the end of the year is always really busy for me. All of my friends' birthdays the end of the year, so we got trips planned and different stuff going on. And yeah, so that's that. Will I move back home? I love Jacksonville, y'all. I do. I love Jacksonville, and when I'm there, I remember just how much I love it. I love that city. And like, people talk about it so bad, and they talk about like things that are going on, and until it hit my front door, like, I was always like, child, please, that's just regular stuff. I love that city. I really do. And I can see me moving back again. It would be after the 4 years, and maybe a little longer than that, but I can always see that being my permanent residence, unless something drastic happens here or somewhere else or something, and I'm just like, I fall in love with another place. I could always see me going back home. Like, yeah. And to be honest, trying to make sure I got everything on my list. To be honest, like, I would always want it to be like my permanent residence, like somewhere I always go home to. And like I said, unless the time go by and I just, you know what I'm saying, like, things just change in these other places, I would go back home. Not no time soon, but I would go back home. Things I would do differently if I was moving out of town again. For one, I would not move no furniture, child. I would sell every piece of furniture that I have, and I would just start over wherever I'm at. Whenever I move from here, I'm not taking no furniture, I'm not loading on a U-Haul, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing nothing unless it's something that is significant. I'm on a little small U-Haul, because I brought like my bedroom set, my living room stuff, and then like a lot of clothes and things like that. It was a lot of boxes and stuff, but and I threw a lot of stuff away, gave a lot of stuff away and that kind of stuff, and tried to like minimize my stuff. But if I ever moved out of town again, for sure I'm not moving any furniture. I'm not doing that. I get TVs and furniture and all that stuff when I get to where I'm going, because I'm not moving that stuff with me. That's the one thing I would do differently. Other than that, I think my move was a very smooth transition. I don't know. Oh, and I would have planned it out better, of course. Like, when I get ready to move to my next place or whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plan it out. I didn't have time to plan it out. Something happened, I had to go. So I didn't plan stuff out like I would have had I, you know what I'm saying, had the time. Now, as far as the future, I do see me living somewhere else. I want to move to Mexico. I honestly want to go live in Bali. If I keep saying for a year, but if only for 6 months. And I also want to live in Mexico. And Mexico, I have no problem only be 6 months, because I just want to stay from January to June. Because once hurricane season starts, I'm out of there. But I do want to live in some other countries. Like I want to, and so my goal is to like live here for 6 months and then live here for 6 months and then live here for a year and then live here like that. Like I want to be a nomad for the rest of my life. I mean, I feel like I'm at an age and I'm at a stage in my life where I can do that. Like my kids are grown. I have no reason to, unless I find me a man to tie me down, girl. I don't have no reason to be. And I think that the man that the Lord is gonna send me is gonna be a man that's free just like me. And we gonna be able to say, okay, we living in Mexico for 6 months, let's go to Mexico. We gotta leave Mexico, we leave Mexico, let's go back to Jacksonville for a year. Let's leave Jacksonville, okay, we tired of being here, let's go somewhere else. So that is what I plan on doing now. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I haven't worked out the logistics of none of that yet. But, and I think what I would do is, sell my furniture, all my clothes and everything that are things that I'm keeping. I'll probably get me a storage in Jacksonville, put it in the storage, just pay the storage, and then just go from place to place. And when between each place, stop back in Jacksonville and whatever. That was my plan a few months ago until I had this grandbaby. And now I don't know, unless I'm be able to like, but even with that, like if I'm gonna stay in Mexico for 6 months, I probably would come get her, bring her to Mexico with me for a month, and then bring her back home, and then I will see her when I come back, stuff like that. But I just don't want to miss out on any of her life. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this, be in 2 places at one time, but I know I'm gonna make it happen, okay? Please believe that, because I don't want to miss out anything on my girl. Like I love this baby, y'all. She cranking up in there. She cranking up in there. How many times I've been home? Will I move back? Things I would do different. My plans for the future. And like I said, my plans for the future, like I plan on like YouTubing. I want to be a huge YouTuber, 1 million followers, where I'm living off YouTube, so I can do this from anywhere in the world. And besides that, with my coaching, my consulting business, for estheticians, that'll be something else I can do from anywhere in the world. And I can always have estheticians that I mentor in these different states and different places that I can stop by and see them when I'm visiting and things like that, girl. Just living life on the run, okay? So yeah. It's been 6 months. It's been a good 6 months. It's not been bad, y'all. It's not been bad. The worst thing was missing my family and friends. Hold on, y'all. Let me grab the baby. Oh, my battery about to die. Y'all, we almost made it through the whole video without having to stop. But I'm almost done. So like I was saying, I don't want to miss out on any parts of our life. So I just got to figure that part out. But I'm sure that I will. It has been a good 6 months. It has not been bad. Would I do it again? Yes. Next time, I hope not forcefully. Hope it's just because it's something that I want to do. If you made it this far in the video, y'all know how I feel. I love y'all because y'all love me. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions about my move, make sure you drop them down below. I would love to hear from y'all. I'm about to edit this video and it's going up today, so I just recorded this Friday, July the 19th, okay? Thank y'all again for watching. I hope you are enjoying my channel. But again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see y'all later. Bye.
1-1, what's the 411? What's the 411? What's the 411?